In the heart of ancient Halicarnassus, where the Aegean waves whispered secrets to the wind, one man sought to defy time itself. King Mausoleum dreamed of a monument so grand, so magnificent, that his name would echo through eternity. But ambition is a heavy burden, and even stone is not immune to the ravages of fate. The dream of a king. The city of Halicarnassus, nestled on the shores of Curia, thrived under the rule of King Mausoleum. To the untrained eye, it was a prosperous kingdom, its streets humming with merchants, its temples resplendent under the Anatolian sun. Yet, within the grand palace overlooking the Aegean, Mausoleum wrestled with an unease that even his vast dominion could not quell. His name would fade, he feared, as time devoured all things. Great rulers had come and gone, their legacies reduced to dust and fading echoes in history's endless tide. But Mausoleum would not allow himself to be forgotten. He envisioned a monument so colossal, so magnificent, that neither time nor conquest could erase it, a final testament to his reign. In the vast halls of his court, where marble columns stood like sentinels of ambition, Mausoleum summoned his advisers. Their murmurs filled the chamber as they speculated on the purpose of the sudden assembly. When the king spoke, his words fell like hammer strokes upon stone. "We build monuments to gods, to victories, to the dead," he declared, his gaze sweeping across the room. "Yet what structure immortalizes a ruler beyond his passing? I will not be remembered as a name in a fading scroll. I will be remembered in stone and marble, in the heavens themselves." A hush settled. Then, hesitant voices rose. "Your Majesty," one elder began, his beard quivering as he chose his words carefully, "Halicarnassus prospers because of your wisdom. But a project of such scale, its cost, the labor, what kingdom would you leave behind if all its wealth is spent on a tomb?" Mausoleum met the man's gaze, unflinching. "A kingdom that will live forever." The opposition was practical, the concerns valid. Yet Mausoleum was undeterred. He turned to Artemisia, his queen and confidant. Where others saw folly, she saw vision. She had ruled beside him not only as a wife but as a partner, sharpening his ideas with her own intellect. "If it is to be built," she said, her voice soft yet firm, "it must not be merely a tomb. It must be a wonder." Mausoleum nodded. A wonder, indeed. Plans unfolded like the petals of an intricate blossom. Mausoleum sought the finest architects, sculptors, and artisans. The monument would blend the grand traditions of Greek, Egyptian, and Lycian craftsmanship, a masterpiece that defied ordinary funerary designs. Towering statues, intricate reliefs, and soaring columns would mark its splendor. But ambition invites adversity. Even as the foundation was envisioned, so too were the whispers of resistance. Nobles feared the strain on the treasury. Generals whispered of unrest. Merchants fretted over taxes. And beyond the palace walls, rumors stirred among the common folk. Why must the wealth of Halicarnassus be poured into a structure meant for the dead? Yet Mausoleum pressed forward. His mind was not bound by the present. He saw only the future. He spoke of eternity, of a monument that would serve not only as his resting place but as the pride of his city, a beacon of power for generations yet unborn. And so, with the stroke of a chisel against stone, the dream took shape. But fate is a cruel sculptor, and even the grandest visions can be shattered. As the first foundations were laid, Mausoleum, architect of eternity, was struck by an unseen adversary, death itself. The dream had begun, but would it survive its dreamer? A monument of love and loss. Death did not halt the construction, it only deepened its meaning. When King Mausoleum passed from the mortal realm, the kingdom mourned, but none grieved more than Artemisia. The ruler who had envisioned eternity was gone, but his queen remained, a woman bound by love, duty, and a promise that would defy time itself. The court expected her to falter, to retreat into mourning, but Artemisia was forged of sterner metal. She ascended the throne alone, her resolve as unshakable as the marble slabs stacked for the mausoleum's foundation. Where others saw a tomb, she saw a tribute. Where some whispered of vanity, she spoke of devotion. She summoned the greatest artisans of the age, Scopas, Bryaxis, Timotheus, and Leocares, masters of stone and visionaries of form. Together, they would ensure that Mausoleum's dream did not perish with him. Under Artemisia's patronage, the mausoleum transformed from concept to reality, a structure that would merge Greek elegance, Egyptian grandeur, and Lycian mysticism. Each sculpted relief, Each towering column, each statue whispering the name of its lost king, bore the weight of a love that transcended death. But greatness demands sacrifice. The treasury groaned under the burden of ambition, the city's patience strained as artisans labored without end. Whispers grew into voices, voices into protests. Did the dead deserve more than the living? Was this monument not a tomb, but a prison for the wealth of Halicarnassus? Artemisia met these murmurs with the quiet steel of a queen unwilling to bend. She imposed levies, restructured trade, and negotiated with distant lands to fund the construction. She attended every council, every decision, ensuring no obstacle would slow its completion. Even as her own health waned, she pressed on, her strength sustained by a singular purpose, to complete what Mausoleum had begun. But time is relentless, even for the determined. Artemisia, once the guiding force behind the mausoleum, weakened under the weight of her grief and burdens. Some say she perished from illness, others whisper she simply willed herself to follow Mausolus into the beyond. Regardless of the cause, the city once more fell into mourning. And yet, the mausoleum stood. With its queen gone, the artisans did not abandon their work. If anything, her passing solidified the structure's legacy. It was no longer just Mausolus's tomb, nor merely Artemisia's tribute. It had become a monument to devotion, a wonder of the ancient world that defied time's inevitable decay. The monument that touched the heavens. The mausoleum stood as a marvel of human ingenuity, its colossal form rising above the cityscape of Halicarnassus like a beacon to the heavens. Travelers from distant lands arrived, their eyes widening in awe as they beheld its towering columns, intricate friezes, and statues that seemed to breathe with life. It was not merely a tomb, it was a declaration, a challenge to time itself. Word of its grandeur spread beyond Curia. Philosophers, poets, and historians chronicled its magnificence, placing it among the wonders of the world. Sculptors studied its artistry, architects admired its balance, and rulers envied its permanence. The name of Mausolus, once at risk of fading, now echoed through history, forever intertwined with the word mausoleum. But even the greatest monuments are not immune to the passage of time. The fall of a wonder. No force is mightier than time. Though the mausoleum at Halicarnassus defied centuries, nature and conquest proved relentless. Earthquakes fractured its foundation, weakening the once mighty pillars. Waves of invaders chipped at its grandeur, repurposing its stones for new structures. By the medieval age, only fragments remained, scattered echoes of a lost marvel. Yet, its legend endured. Even in ruin, the mausoleum had achieved its purpose. Mausolus's name lived on, whispered through history, immortalized not just in stone, but in memory. Though the mausoleum at Halicarnassus crumbled, its legacy endured. Its stones may have fallen, but its name was never erased. Even today, when we speak of grand tombs, we speak of mausoleums, a testament to a king's dream and a queen's devotion, forever etched into the annals of history.